Football fans, the Nico era is officially here. Come New Year's 2024, Bob, we got a new guy.
That's right. Joe is opting out, not playing. He, I think, will be at the game, but not suit up. And Gaston Moore would be the backup. But yes, Nico, it's what we all been waiting for, and hopefully we get some good returns. They did put him in a kind of a tough situation, though. I mean, to some degree. I mean, I would play him right now if it was me. I would, because it's not a whole lot to gain by this game for Joe playing. You need Nico some game time reps, and we haven't given him near much this year as we needed to. So,
Well, he's going to get an opportunity against a defense, Bob, that's among the stingiest in the nation and has been for multiple years.
yeah, I think they ranked number 4 in the country scoring defense. I mean, that's impressive. 8 years in a row in the top 20.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, as stingy as it gets, I mean, it's consistent. They probably got the best defensive coordinator in the country. So yeah, they are. You want to talk a little bit about them, Tim? I mean,
Well, I'll tell you what else I want to talk about real quickly, too. Great defense. Well, we'll get into that. I've got some reservations about that. But I'm also concerned about what are we protecting Nico with?
yeah, patchwork offensive line, and you'll have a true freshman at running back in there at times in critical situations. Cam Self. Now I think he's got some really good ability as far as the running goes.
Yeah,
But
where's his pass pro at?
yeah,
We're doing Samson's pass pro. I mean, it's gotten better. I won't deny that. But
neither one is our top 2 running backs in pass pro. So that's a concern. And then you have our 4th best guard, a weak spot on our team anyway. Going to be starting probably a Lampley, Jackson Lampley probably. I haven't heard for sure. Dane Davis may slide in from tackle.
yeah, it's up in the air because we still got Campbell playing, and that's up in the air. So that's patchwork is a nice term for what we might have out there.
It's a good thing that Nico excels at scrambling because he's probably going to be doing a lot of that this game.
Well, yes, he's going to have an opportunity. But back to the Iowa defense, Bob. Sound, and I think is what tells you one thing to happen.
I watched a lot of their games and also listened to a lot of experts, people a lot smarter than me about football.
Wait a second, I've not done a podcast on this.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Tim. Other experts.
Oh, okay.
Other experts. And let them, I heard them talk a little bit about Iowa's defense, and they seemed very impressed. But some of the stuff they mentioned, and I gathered, was for one, they run a 4-3 defense, run a lot of quarter zone defense. They are not real, exotic on that side of the ball. They're pretty basic, but they are very fundamentally sound, high effort, very good tackling team. A lot of upperclassmen, juniors, seniors, and
Tell you what impressed me, Bob, about their defense was simply when you saw one guy make the tackle, you saw 3 guys over. They're also chipping in. They really run to the ball well. They gang tackle. Sign of a good, aggressive, well-coached team.
mm-hmm. yeah, I was impressed by that. I mean, it just seemed like people that really, lot of team effort, not a lot of, me kind of thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, team effort, you're going to have to get team effort. They only allowed 1 run over 20 yards all season, and they play their safeties up pretty close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And not to really have only allowed 1 bust all year is incredible.
It is. And they only had 18 passes over 20 yards all year.
Which is also incredible. I mean, that's playing your safeties that close to the line of scrimmage and not really letting things behind you.
Yeah, they put a lot of stress on their safeties, and that I think is one of the keys, my keys to the game. When we lit up Alabama last year, we abused the safeties.
We did that a lot.
We did.
This year, people have played us differently.
They have.
And backed things up and dared us to run the ball.
And you had a point about that, Tim. You think the fact that their defense is really good, they may not try to change things. They may try to stick with their guns and go with what they've.
I believe so. We saw defenses play us differently as the year went on. playing some 3-man lines against us, dropping extra back, and
We struggled
it was,
with that.
yeah, that was effective.
Well,
I don't expect to see this in Iowa. I believe they believe that we are good. We've done the same thing for 8 years running, or however many years, and I think they have confidence and belief in their system and in their players.
yeah, I could see that. I mean, if you're that good, why fix it? Why fix it? Yeah,
Hey, Dates with the one you brought to the dates.
right.
Turns her back.
Yeah, exactly. One other thing I thought was interesting, I guess because they are pretty basic in their defense, they spend more time on opposing team tendencies than most teams do. They seem to really focus on that and trying to figure out what you're going to run before you run it. And they say that's one of their keys to the defensive success.
Well, apparently they are able to, whoever's their defense coordinator or their analyst, they help out with that. They're doing a great job because for 8 years they have been incredibly consistent.
That's another key to our game, I think, is talking about that is the speed of play. How fast we run tempo, will they be able to recognize those things that they typically try to recognize? I reckon they try to go off, how far backs depths are, the wide receiver alignment, just little small things that most teams don't pick up on, they do. So will they have time to notice those kind of things and pick up on them before it's too late, before we run the play?
Yeah. Well, I don't think we've run efficiently as we have in the past, but I did watch a couple of their games against Purdue and Wisconsin, two teams that they're supposed to be up tempo, spread offenses up in the Big Ten. And two things I noticed was if we're clicking, they are not running our tempo. And yeah, they go 4 wide, but they don't spread you out to the edge of the field whatsoever. Your safeties and everyone else can still stay within, a certain spot on the field. With us, those safeties are going to have to slide out farther to one side or the other a lot of times. And when they do, they're going to have the speed to get back to where they need to if we run up the middle.
I mean, that's a good point. Since I've been little, you always hear the SEC speed, Big Ten power. You can be as good as you can be all this great defense, but if you got the speed to get to point A, from A to B, then all that technique's really out the window.
You're absolutely right. And I'm not trying to say Big Ten is necessarily slow. There's a lot of players going to the NFL, a lot of fast guys up there. But overall, offense and defense, there is a difference in speed in the two leagues. And,
they got their best defensive player out for this game as well.
That's the key. Bishop, listen at me. Cooper DeJohn, unanimous All-American quarterback, 2-time Big Ten All-Conference, first team. And he's also the Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Year. Hell of a return man.
Yeah.
So that's a major loss.
That is, yeah. Which we needed them to lose somebody because we got
a lot more opt-outs and
we got like 6 starters out, or something like that. Just right off the top of my head, we have a lot.
Yeah, we heard by people missing a lot more than they are.
Yeah.
But at least this is probably their single best player on their entire team.
Yeah.
So
That's helpful.
Offensively, Bob.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
Let's go to offense, Bob. That's an association.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want you to tell me, in a single word, describe their offense.
Crap. Their defense, as good as it is, their offense is
Maybe a little bit worse.
a bit worse. Yeah. They are dead last in the nation by a fairly decent amount in total offense. I mean, that's crazy to be a Big Ten team, to be that far down on the offensive side. They must be putting all their athletes on the defensive side of the ball. But their passing offense, it all starts with Deacon Hill, which isn't much.
Well, because one thing, I don't think he's ever passed the buffet line.
That's true, Jim. I've seen a picture of him there and seen him playing in the Michigan game.
I thought I saw him as a long snapper or something.
I mean, he's like 6'3", 260.
He's not Jared Lorenzen big.
Yeah.
But he's got my physique, God help him.
That's right.
So
Yeah, he's not impressive. Only passing for on average 23 yards a game. They are rushing for about 117. They do have one running back that kind of stands out, LaShawn Williams, average of about 4.9 yards carry.
yeah, and that's a decent amount because he's been the workhorse. He's got over 800 yards, 165, 66 carries, I believe it is. And we did have one 82-yard scamper that probably inflated that average a little bit. But, I mean, he's not bad. But they're equally bad on the passing offense and rushing offense. And really for our new look secondary,
Good thing.
it's a good thing because, yeah, we may have some nice athletes that's going to be back there this week.
Yeah.
But talk about we could have it back pretty simple, pretty quick back there.
Yeah, that's
I was thinking to go off on, complete about 40% of the passes and still have 3 touchdowns.
yeah. One thing I noticed when I watched them play some of their better teams, they went a lot of misdirection, a lot of wide receiver runs, a lot of bootlegs to the tight end, which is probably their best receiver, Eric All, I think is his name.
Yeah, I believe that Eric All Jr. Had, I think, 229 yards receiving and was their leading receiver with 229 yards receiving. But yeah, they had you mentioned them some wide receiver runs. They had 18 carries this year among 5 different wide receivers. Well, it is, but that kind of indicates they're searching for something. They're searching for a cheap touchdown. You get the defense flowing the wrong direction, you get the other quarter. That offense needs a cheap touchdown.
Yeah, they're probably their other biggest star on the team, Tim, is probably the punter, Torrey Taylor, at 48 yards on a punt.
Well, he is. Bobby's a Ray Guy Award winner. I believe he's setting the NCAA record for total yards punted in a career. An outstanding guy. And he only put 6, as much as they punted, he only put 6 punts into the end zone this year.
That's impressive. For a guy with a 48-yard average. I mean, you think he's trying to hold back from putting them in the end zone and maybe hitting some sky punts, something from air.
Yeah.
That average might come down some. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when he wants to, but he's got the length of the field to kick it, then he can put it well over 50 yards pretty consistently.
Yeah.
But now they do give up some return yards. He has outpunted his coverage a few times.
Yeah, I think the actual net punting is about the same between him and Jackson Robinson.
Yeah, I think it's almost identical, the net. Of course, we do such a incredible job.
We do.
On punt coverage. Have ever since Heupel's gotten here, it's been amazing how little we give up on the punt return. I hope I didn't jinx us.
Yeah. That is something I think there might be a small kink there. That sometimes he does outkick his coverage a little bit. And with D. Williams, this could be a game where I could see him possibly busting one.
Well, we talked about that speed a few minutes earlier, and that's one speedy guy. And Shifty, he's really as nice as a punt returner as we've had in quite some time. So, Bob, we've touched a little bit about Iowa. Is there anything else you want to add? What can Tennessee do? I mean, we touched a little bit on it, but how do you see some things going on?
Well, I mean, it's going to be all eyes going to be on Nico, obviously. I think we're going to try to run the ball, try to get down in distance, try to get him not in 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9 and get him in trouble. I could see them trying to do a little bit of scripting some plays, maybe his favorite plays, passes, get him
Got to give him confidence.
Get him an easy pass or two early on, and they're going to try to run it a lot. And I wouldn't be shocked to see him doing a little bit of running in this game. Yeah.
Or just having to scramble.
Yeah. And I think it's, I think some other people have said it before, and I've said it. That's one of his strengths is his scrambling, and he just has a extremely good pocket presence. I mean, that's one of Joe's negatives. The guy's fast, but Joe didn't really feel pressure that great, and he just seemed to go into panic mode, and his eyes come down off his receivers.
Well, limited opportunities to watch Nico, he had excellent pocket presence.
He seems to be very calm and chill back there. Kind of reminds me of another California kid, Casey Clausen. I hope,
Well, it's been cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Nico, I hope he can remain cool because I worry. Really, I think we could kill this team if everything goes our way. But golly, man, that offensive line worries me, Bob.
Yeah, and going against a really polished defense that, they're not a huge defense as far as getting a lot of sacks and a lot of interceptions, but they make you earn everything,
What they did.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, and it's going to be fun to watch. There's going to be a lot of people watching this game, a lot more now that Nico's the starting quarterback.
Well, they will. Do you have anything else to add or predictions?
Well, I think Tennessee's about 8.5 point favorites right now. I think the total might be like 36 or 37, which is an unreal low number.
Yeah, and I believe Iowa on all their really low numbers. I believe they still hit on the under almost every single game this year.
It's crazy. Shoot, man, I hadn't done this. I'm shooting from the hip on this one. Let's go. I can see some field goals being kicked in this ball game. Let's go 23 to 13. 23 to 13.
23-13. Well, I'm going 27-10. And I believe we kick off the Nico era pretty well. And thank goodness we'll have some healthy people back on the line of scrimmage next year.
Yeah.
I think our defense, unless we just give up something, I don't know they really get 10.
I'm like you, Tim. I agree. I just think we might get a bust. I think,
With that new defensive backfield, yes.
I think they might get us some, and I think they may wear us out a little bit on that tight end bootleg pass. I could see us. We don't seem to handle those plays very well. Well, that's saying, guys, I believe that's it. And, look for our next video and go Vols.
Go Vols.